Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the PoppedCast, a brand new podcast from the wonderful people behind the scenes at Pop News. We are bringing back the podcast. Obviously, if you've been following us for quite some time, you will have known us from Everybody's a Critic, which is what basically got Popped started well over 2 years ago now. I think actually it's coming up to the 2 year anniversary since our first episode, which is very exciting. So we are bringing it back, lick of fresh paint, if you will. And I'm really excited today to be joined by two of our very own. I'm joined with Britt and Riley. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing good.
Fine, I suppose.
Fine.
It's fine, fine, yeah, it's just yeah. Wonderful. So today, in our very first episode, we're going to be talking through all of the recent developments with the Oscar winners. We're going to be sharing our thoughts on the recent Project Hail Mary, which released this weekend. We'll also be diving into a bit of discussion about Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday, Doomsday, if you will. And then we're going to be going through some of our most anticipated picks for the rest of the year at the cinema. However, before we get on, I thought we could share a little bit about what we've been watching recently. So I'm going to throw the mic to Britt and ask, what have you been watching recently? What has been like a recent obsession of yours, or is there anything that you want to shed some light on, maybe?
That feels pointed because we know the only thing I've been watching and rewatching is Heated Rivalry. That's it.
For our listeners who have might not have heard about Heated Rivalry, do you want to give us like a little sort of idiot's guide to Heated Rivalry? What is in essence the show about?
Imagine not hearing about Heated Rivalry. Sure. Okay. Um, Two boys who play hockey fall in love. The end.
Incredible. Best selling series of all time.
It's the Boy
Listen,
Aquarium.
exactly. There's
It's
so
been
much hockey, so much hockey.
They're hockeying all over the place.
Hockeying in each other's hands.
dear me, dear me.
Listen, I'm just, what do you want me to say?
You can say whatever you want, Brett. You can say whatever you want. Riley, what have you been watching? Sorry, Brett.
Um, I think that's kind of a funny question, has kind of a trick answer to it because I haven't been watching a ton. I've been playing a ton. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Pokopia, which is the new kind of Animal Crossing Minecraft-like Pokemon game where you're training up. Well, no, you're not training. You're building habitats to lure Pokemon into your world, and then you're doing little quests, helping them out, giving them little things to increase their comfort level, and you're just kind of trying to beautify the world and raise the environment level as you go. Very fun, very cute. It's kind of like it's a lot like Animal Crossing, but with less limits on it. Um, the other thing I've been playing a lot is Marathon, which is the new extraction shooter from Bungie, who made Halo and Destiny. It's got equally as good gunplay in it, but the real hook of it is kind of the gameplay loop of you're just going in, you're doing these missions for these different factions that all have different like warring ideologies, and then you're coming back out with whatever loot you can get out of there, and then regrouping, selling stuff, and then hopping back in. But yeah, haven't been watching a lot, just playing a lot of both of those games, taking up a lot of time.
I feel like for me, obviously, at the minute, again, I've been in such a TV void over the last few months that whenever I get a chance to watch a film, it's always a fun one. I watched I Swear last weekend, which picked up a few BAFTAs over here. I really enjoyed I Swear. I watched the new Stephen Graham horror film, Heel or Good Boy. It's got about five different titles at this rate. That was okay. I think the ending wasn't what I expected it to be, without diving into too many spoilers. But there's two really good performances in that film: Stephen Graham and Anson Boone. I think that's his name, who plays the protagonist. But I will say, I for a long time I was obviously a serial RuPaul's Drag Race watcher. I tried to watch the first episode of the latest season, which started well over 2 months ago. And it just wasn't for me. I don't know what it was. I think because it's in its 18th season now, there is only so much you can do to deviate from the rest and stand out. And when you've got like 15, 16 drag queens all being introduced at once, it's very overwhelming. So I'm hoping to try and get back into that eventually, but at the minute I'm probably going to shift my reality focus back to the secret lives of Mormon wives, which has been very, very popular in the news recently for various reasons. But I need to get back on to season three.
Oh,
Um,
you're not even
but
caught
I've
up on it yet.
Oh no, I feel
Oh,
like I had such a mega binge over February break, that I tired myself out when I should have played the long game and just stretched it out as long as I could.
yeah.
But alas,
We need to get you back watching it. We need to get those cameraman back on the back in
honestly,
production.
we need boots on the ground right now.
Boots on
The
the
one
ground.
time they're not filming, and we've got scandal after scandal. So
Yeah.
anyhow, moving on from what we've been watching and playing, and the Pokemon game does sound very interesting, even though I'm not really a Switch gamer. But I remember playing Animal Crossing on the DS, so I'm sure with the added elements of Pokemon, that game will be a success. Last weekend we had the 2026 Academy Awards. Unfortunately, I did not stay up to watch this one. The sad reality of living in the UK and being up at 6 o'clock on a Monday morning meant that again I had to skip this one. But there was a number of wins that were expected. I was pleasantly surprised to see that Michael B. Jordan won for his performance, his dual performance in Sinners. I think that was probably of all the awards that night, that was my favorite one. And then it was great to see Amy Madigan win for weapons as well. I think personally, I didn't see him winning. I thought it was Tiana Taylor's award, or even um, I forget the actress's name from Sinners. I think she would have been a fantastic one as well. But for Madigan to win, for her performance in Weapons was great as well. Um, what about you, Britt? Any of the award winners that night? Any that you were proud of, or any you were cheering on?
Um, no. Um, though I I do feel bad um about the best supporting actor Sean Penn, that whole thing, because I think how do we pronounce his name? The person who presented it, because I don't want to botch his first name.
Oh,
Kier,
Kieran
is it Kieran?
Kieran
Culkin.
Yes.
Culkin. Yeah.
So I guess I guess he like talked to Robert Downey Jr. He said the best feeling is actually giving the award to someone, and he was like, "Wow, I hope whoever wins shows up." And then obviously Sean Penn didn't show up, so everyone was saying he should get a redo next year.
And the funny thing is Kieran had that like he had that like cheeky little smirk at the end of like, well, Sean's not here, so I guess I'll accept it on his behalf. And he like gives a smirk like he knows it's the funniest thing, but yeah.
Poor guy. I I know Britt, you would have been pleasantly surprised to see our two boys throughout the Oscars,
Yes.
Pedro and Grogu. I thought it was great seeing Grogu there. I thought that was the do you know what, sod the awards, having Grogu there trying to collapse up with Kate Hudson that was all I needed. It was
I'm
great.
really glad he found time out of his busy schedule to make an appearance. You don't get that too often these days. He's a big name, busy boy.
At first, when you said our two boys, I thought we were going back to heated rivalry again. But
Hudson and Connor.
th
Hudson was
that
there.
that ceremony, it had so much just like marketing plays in it. Like
Yeah.
it felt like more than normal. I don't know about you, but
Well, what did they have? They had Robert Downey Jr.
mhm.
They
Then they did
had
Devil Wears Prada,
yep.
and they did
What else?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah,
They
a
did
lot of Disney.
there was
Well,
the
obviously.
drama, but that wasn't Disney.
Didn't they drop a cruise line trailer as well? Just like halfway through the ceremony.
Yeah. Hey, listen. If anyone who's listening is thinking about going on a Disney cruise, though, let me tell you, I went on one like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Best vacation I've ever had, hands
I
down.
believe it.
We should do it. We should do a popped Disney cruise.
You have no idea how bad I've been wanting to do another one since then. So I'm in.
We should do it. They've got a new. I was watching a video before. They've got like the new ship in Singapore. So
Don't they have Bluey on the cruise too?
they
I think they
do.
do. Yeah.
Bluey is everywhere right now.
Oh
She's
yeah.
she's launched today in Disneyland. She's coming to Animal Kingdom in the summer. It's a Bluey
Oh,
World takeover.
It's a
good for
long,
her.
maybe the longest marketing ploy ever for that movie,
The
which is coming,
movie.
what, like, is it next year or the year after?
It's
Oh,
August 27.
Okay, yeah.
this year?
No,
No,
next year.
next year.
Oh,
2027,
wow.
sorry.
They're really banking on it,
Mm,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it helps Disney Plus and,
Right.
merchandising and stuff, but it's clear that the end game is that movie. So
Okay, so I think Oscars wise, I think we're all sort of happy with that. One battle after another, as we said, Sean Penn won, sort of
mm.
took the majority of the big awards, adapted screenplay, director, best picture, best casting, which I think is crazy. I think it was best casting, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that was a
I did.
no-brainer to me with Chase Infinity like being cast in that. Yeah.
So it was a healthy amount of Academy Awards and an overall good night. I think it's crazy the sort of last thing on the Oscars. You have people now predicting already, bearing in mind the ceremony was what, 7 days ago. You've got people already penciling in Best Picture nominees. Um, but it's just that cycle of film Twitter, not to start beef, but like the body's not even cold yet, and you're already predicting who's gonna get
I saw
snubbed.
people talking about who's going to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I'm like, these movies aren't even out.
And it's not just people on Twitter, right? It's actual publications. Like Variety already posted a whole article that was like, here's the possible nominees for every single category. And like, even if you were to get into speculating them for whatever wild reason, which like sometimes it's fun to go, okay, here's a shot in the dark. I'm not going to think about this for the next 10 months. We'll come back and see if it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
And that's kind of fun. But some of the things that they threw out there were kind of funny to me. Just like the idea of like David Fincher's what's it called? Cliff Booth, Adventures of Cliff Booth, the spin-off of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just the idea of that being up for like best
Oh,
picture or
right. So
whatever.
that's the movie from the Super Bowl that had no title in the commercial, right?
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So I was like, I remember watching that. I was like, what is this for? I was like, they didn't put a name in there.
Uh, I think give it 6 months, and then when we get to like the fall, then do you know what? That is award season time. That's when we should be having these conversations, but not a week after the Oscars have been given out.
When we
Right.
get to
Have a
Venice.
have a break. Yeah, maybe can in a few months' time. Maybe can have a bit of sort of, oh, this was good.
Yeah.
Maybe this. But I mean, no one's predicting Kate Hudson getting nominated for best actress, so why do we even bother predicting a year out when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do have those curveballs now and then. Um, I think my mind goes back to Andrea Riseborough as well, a few years ago, where there was just a lot of campaigning. Anyhow, in this year, we've had our Barbenheimers, we've had our trying to think of two big films that
Wicked,
released on the same day.
Wicked,
Which one?
Gladiator, Wicked. Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
we've had.
did that one happen? And then, was there another one? Was there Moana?
Oh God,
Oh, one of them moved, I think. I think there was Moana and Wicked,
Moana. Yeah,
and one of them moved.
yeah, because I think people called it moaned, weren't they?
Yep.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah,
none of those have reached the heights of Barbenheimer.
it
Yeah.
was Moana and Wicked moaned. This year is probably going to be. I don't think it will be bigger than Barbenheimer in terms of a cultural event, but I think both films will carry a huge presence at the box office when we look at it at the sort of year's end. We do have Dune Part 3, which we had the trailer for this week. Um, Subjects to whatever you want to believe about Warner Brothers and Timothy Chalamet, whether or not they held the trailer until Timothy potentially won Best Actor and they could plaster it all over.
He was
We
robbed.
mm,
He was robbed.
it's I just think it's very poetic that a film like My Supreme and the message that it has and the ending it has for a film to be so highly nominated
Oh
to
yeah,
end
I
up
think that's
winning
funny. Yeah.
nothing
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
hilarious. But Timmy will get his Oscar. It's just not now. It's a great performance, but he there'll be more opportunities for Timothy Chalamet. But we had the June 3 trailer. It looks good. Um, I I like the look of it. It looks okay. It's there was a lot of people singing. I don't know if Brit, have you seen the Dune 3 trailer?
No.
Okay.
I'm really like in my bubble of one thing only right
She's
now.
at the hockey rink. She's over there at the hockey rink. She's not here right now.
Yeah, it's
Which is fair
bad.
enough. It's real. It's real.
Certain things
Well,
just get me, and that's it for months. I'll be
so
back
maybe
Hyperfixation.
eventually.
Hyperfixation.
hey, Warner Brothers, hey, for Dune Part 3, here's how you need to market this. You got a couple boys in there. You got Robert Pattinson. You got Timothy
Eh,
Chalamet.
mm,
You know what to do. Get on it.
that ain't gonna work for me, but uh, you know,
Are you coming to the Arrakis cottage?
oh my God. Right, right.
Um, so Dune Part 3, I mean, so there's an interesting departure with this one, right? Because they have a different director of photography. It was Greg Fraser before in the first two parts, and he is not on this one because he's working on the Beatles movies. And he also shot Project Hail Mary. Um, but so this new Dune Part 3, we have Linus Sandgren, who was the director of photography and a lot of Damien Chazelle's stuff. So he did Babylon, he did La La Land. So like what did you think of like the look of it as compared to Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2, just off the bat?
Um, it looks all right. It looks you can tell no, you can tell it's not Fraser, but
Yeah.
it's still you still have a competent DOP there
Mhm.
who will bring a strong sci-fi visual degree to the film. Because you've got some really interesting shots alone in that trailer, so the rest of that film will will look good as well. I think it's a good pick to replace Fraser. That poor man is being forced to make four Beatles films that I don't think a lot of people will watch. The fact that we have four, I'm gonna stop myself because I could go on an absolute rant here. Um, why release four films on the same day? Is just Sony must be thinking, oh, it's gonna be a hit, man. People love the Beatles, Beatlemania. But people aren't gonna watch four films in a day
People
or a
who
week.
love the Beatles are dead.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down,
Listen,
slow
no, no,
down.
no, listen, listen,
Pe-
listen, listen. Right, and
or they're in
I know,
Florida.
and actually, it's really funny because I know the Beatles actually have like their own like stan Twitter like corner because I've seen them. Like I know they have like Twitter stan, which is funny, but I that is not enough to carry four individual movies, and especially on the same day.
Exactly.
Yep.
And people are kind of over like the music biopics at this point.
Well, that's until Michael comes out.
Right. Okay. That he is in his own thing. I don't know. I've heard things about it that I'm like, interesting choices, but we'll see. I mean, I know it's gonna go crazy, but he's also way more recent, obviously, than the
Yeah,
Beatles.
true. He was the king
Like
of pop.
you probably could have done four Beatles movies 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and it probably would have been insane. Now, we'll see.
Tell you what, though, 2029 Oscars, I can already predict some front runners for Best Actor, um, and Best Director. So
Imagine like
It's
three of
James
them
Cameron
being
for Avatar
nominated.
4.
Diane Warren will be nominated for Best Original Song.
For K-pop Demon Hunters
It's
2.
gonna be her year.
Oh, that she's got to win one. She's got to win one.
I don't know. The
Well,
odds are
they'll
not in her
give
favor.
they will give her an honorary one for her
Probably.
lifetime commitment to the
Most
industry.
losses.
Best effort.
But we got a little off track there. We're talking
That's
Dune Part
okay.
3, and then
We
we
did.
got
Okay.
Doomsday.
Okay. Listen, listen. I've seen the Dune 3 trailer now. I watched it during the midst of the conversation. There are some interesting shots. I mean, visually, it looks interesting. Obviously, they don't
Were you
really
into Timothy Chalamet's singing?
um right. So, anyways, I think it looks interesting. We'll see.
It's got such a good cast, and I think those two. Obviously, we've got Doomsday releasing on the same day. I think having two big films with such huge, strong, talented ensemble casts is you can put the two films against each other as a competition, but at the end of the day, both films will succeed from both releasing on the same day.
I
Um,
I kind of think, well, okay, so it is a little bit different than Barbenheimer functionally, just because Barbenheimer is the whole concept is it's counter programming,
yep.
but like it's two entirely different things.
Hmm.
Um, but so this doesn't have that, and so I think that's why some people are a little bit wary of it and are saying that Avengers Doomsday should move. But I actually think Doomsday is gonna do no matter what anyone says about Marvel being washed and Marvel, going downhill, it's gonna be a huge thing no matter what. It's
Oh
gonna make
yeah.
a ton of money.
Yep.
Um, and so I think it would do that regardless of if it was like this doubled up um event thing. But Dune, I think, is actually going to reap the rewards a lot more than Avengers will from being a double feature. I don't think, I think if anything, Avengers takes a slight loss from what it could make. But I think Dune is going to it's going to see a big bump if it becomes a cultural event where it's like, okay, everyone go see the two movies. Dune is the one that's going to be winning on top there, even if Avengers makes a lot more.
No, definitely. I
Yeah.
think with having, I think it would be a commercial, not fa not failure.
Hmm.
I just stubbed my toe there. I don't think it'd be a commercial failure, but regardless, Avengers doesn't need those IMAX screens, which Dune will have.
Correct.
If one film will benefit more from having IMAX, it is Dune.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't think there's people on Twitter saying, "Oh, Dune will be a was going to make more money than Doomsday. You have a
No,
film that is bringing
impossible.
back. You have a film that is bringing back the X-Men. That is, it's an Avengers level film. It's over the holiday period, and No Way Home proved the legs that a superhero film can have over a holiday period. Both films will succeed commercially. Avengers will benefit from that from being the IP it is, but also Dune. Neither film should move, because Avengers is helping Dune, but also Dune is being pushed up by the IMAX screens as well, which will give it a better sort of commercial side. But it's going to be great. People will take it on and watch both. And like you said, it's not counter programming. These two films really target a wide audience who want to watch big screen events in the cinema. Um, one is being painted as the conclusion to a trilogy, a franchise, and the other one is the collection of franchises merging at a point to lead to a potential universe-ending finale before reboot, whatever you want to call it. So I'm really excited for both films. It's just now which one do you watch first? So I'm
I do.
interested to know.
I
Go on,
wonder
Brett.
how that affects screens though, especially mo smaller movie theaters that have limited screens. How having two huge movies like that is going to affect when they're playing, how often they're playing, and like, I mean, I hope that there are no other movies that plan on coming out that weekend or in that like the couple weeks after because they're not going to get any screens.
There's a few. What was it that comes out the week before? Um,
Jumanji.
Jumanji, and then the
Ooh,
week after is Robert Eggers' Werewolf. Um, but yeah, Jumanji is gonna get crushed.
yeah, that
Doesn't Sonic come out?
Sonic
Or has that been
might, I don't
moved?
know. So I think there's
That's been moved to
one.
March.
Oh,
Angry
I think there's
Birds. Angry
one
Birds 3.
argument.
Angry Birds 3
What was
comes
that?
out the week after as well. Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't know there were two.
Well,
I think
maybe.
there's one argument to be made for Avengers Doomsday moving, and that's that their typical weekend that like Avengers movies have released. What is it? Is it April or
May.
May? It's
Yeah.
May.
Nay.
It's open. It's open. There's nothing big there yet. And so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like if they were to move there, they know they're going to find success there. But I think we can say for sure. I mean, everyone's reporting neither one is going to move. Dune Part 3 is planting the flag very early in its marketing, and it's very clear that they're not moving. Um, so I mean, if Avengers were to move, it it might help the movie a little bit. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world though if it sticks around.
At the
You think
minute,
they're going to move another 6 months out? I don't think that's happening at this point.
I don't think they are, but I think it could benefit from that a little bit. But
there's the argument that they move and they get IMAX and whatever premium format they want, but at the same time, I think December's the best time to release a film in the year. They've
mhm.
proven that May weekend or end of April, early May works. But I think like I said before, that they proved with No Way Home that is like such a great time to release a film. Avatar had such strong legs in that window.
Yeah.
The
And it's it's
Star
worth
Wars
noting
films.
Dune hasn't opened in that window before. This is a first for them. They have typically, I think both times it was February or March. The second time for part two, though, they initially planned to release, what was it? Was it November? I think it was
Let me check.
November. It was around the late half of the year that they were going to release part two, and then it got delayed. Can't remember why. Um,
So it was originally scheduled to release on the 20th of October 2023 before being
October.
moved to November. It was later postponed by 4 months due to the strikes.
Oh, yeah, that was
Right.
it.
That
Yeah,
was about
so
that time.
it's just interesting. This is like they're staking their claim of like, oh, we're taking this spot now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like I said, it'd be interesting to see. At the minute, I think the 7th of May 2027 is Legend of Zelda, and then obviously Disney has Star Wars Starfighter at the end of May. Um, is that
That
Memorial
is
Day
the
weekend?
that's
Should
the
be.
Ryan Gosling Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Could be
it'd be
interesting.
interesting to see if they move to have two big films release in May, but we shall see. Okay, I think that is our Doomsday chat all sorted. This part of the episode, we're now going to talk through Project Hail Mary, a new Lord and Miller directed film based on the Andy Weir novel. Project Hail Mary follows Ryland Grace, a former scientist turned teacher who wakes up alone on a spacecraft with no memory of who he is or why he's there. As his memory slowly returns, he realizes he's on a last ditch mission to save Earth from a mysterious organism that's draining energy from the sun and threatening an extinction level ice age. Traveling to a distant star system in search of answers, Grace encounters an alien survivor named Rocky, and the two form an unlikely partnership. Together, they work to understand the threat and find a solution, with the fate of not just Earth, but multiple worlds hanging in the balance. We just mentioned Gosling. Obviously, Ryan Gosling is our main character, Ryan and Grace. Additional cast includes Sandra Hüller as Eva Stratt, that's sort of the leader of Project Hail Mary. We have James Ortiz, however you want to say that. I do apologize if I butchered that. He provides the voice and he's the lead puppeteer of Rocky. And then additional cast includes Lionel Boyce, Ken Lung, Milana Vaintrub. I've really
I didn't
butchered
even
that.
realize that was her.
Yeah, it's Squirrel
Did
Girl.
you? Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
The AT&T
Yeah,
girl.
I didn't recognize that. I didn't clock it.
So yeah, initial thoughts. Obviously, for anyone listening, Brit hasn't seen this one, but Riley watched it yesterday. I saw it last weekend. So just straight off the bat, Riley, what are your non-spoiler thoughts?
Yeah, non-spoiler. Non-spoiler. It's a good movie. I know there's been a lot of talk around it online with I think partly due to it being screened for journalists like so confidently early it feels like, and even maybe influencers. There's been a lot of talk of it just being like incredible, a lot of big comparisons to like Interstellar. Um, and different people have their own thoughts on Interstellar and stuff, but um, there's all these big things being thrown around about it being a masterpiece and it being one of the best sci-fi movies of all time, it being the best movie of the year potentially. I don't know. It's fine. It's good. It's a good movie. And I think a lot of that is thanks to Ryan Gosling. Um, I personally am not a huge fan of Lord and Miller. I love the Lego movie. Past that, I don't know. I mean, they obviously produced the Spider-Verse movies. They didn't direct them, but I believe, at least one of them wrote, and they produced those. Those are great. Um, but usually, when you think of Lord and Miller, you think of a lot of silly humor, 21 Jump Street and such. Even the Lego movie. And so I was kind of wary going into it of, is this like this thing that people are drawing comparisons to a big serious sci-fi movie? Is it going to be a little bit too silly? Is it going to strike a good balance? What are they going to do with it? And so yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it could be even great, but yeah, I wasn't blown away like some were.
Some like me, I went through it. It's a roller coaster of emotions, that film. I'm laughing, I'm on the edge of tears at various points. I think it's a beautiful story about finding purpose. I think there's some really interesting themes that the film deals with. And I'm a big fan, obviously, as we said, the film follows like a really non-linear, well, it is a linear narrative, but we do have the sort of jump in flashbacks as Grace puts together his memories and he realizes where it well like what the prelude was. Um, Ryan Gosling, despite what people may say, is a fantastic actor, and I think a big part why this film works is, like you said, his performance. Being able to perform by yourself with a puppet takes
Yep.
a lot of work, and I think the script's great. I think the comedy works when it needs to be funny, but when it needs to be real and very human and has this aggressive emotion cast through some quite sad parts, it also works really well. Um, Visually, Greg Fraser is obviously on this one as well. There's some absolutely stunning space sequences. There's a scene where I think it's the fishing scene where it's gorgeous. I wouldn't say it's the best looking space film of all time. I still think Interstellar takes that one, but it looks good. It's in a different league to Interstellar visually, and but it still does look nice, and it's probably one that I'd want to watch it again in the cinema. It's just if I have the time to watch it. But I don't know
Yeah.
how it'd work on a second watch because obviously for anyone that's read the book, you have a clear idea what's happening. I don't really read. It's really bad on my part now. But I know a lot of people that love the book, that love the film. So for them, they had an idea, an inkling of what happens in this story. But um, yeah, it's great, and like I said, the humor, the dynamic between Rocky and Grace is wonderful. There's a sequence where Rocky enters the Hail Mary ship for the first time in his little ball, and he's just absolutely reading him to filth because it's a mess. He's asking all these questions and just it's crazy to think how much you care for a relationship between a man and a rock. Because there's various points of the film where you think, is this the end? Are they're both in je this crazy jeopardy at different parts of the film? Um, but it's a lovely story about two completely different characters becoming the best of friends. Set in space, like very rare that we get a really good space film recently. I know we had Fantastic Four, which it is a space film. Um, but yeah, I was a big fan. I think it'll end up being one of my favorite films of the year. Um, so yeah.
So I mean, so you're saying with Ryan Gosling's humor in it, like you're saying you think the humor is like just like great throughout. So I have a personal problem with it that I think Ryan Gosling is like one of the best comedic actors of the last decade or so, right? I think even before like Barbie came out, I feel like that was apparent with The Nice Guys, Shane Black's The Nice Guys. He's hilarious in that movie. And like for a while that was the biggest piece of like comedic acting that he had done. And so it's when Barbie came out that everyone kind of saw it and all of a sudden it's okay, let's put him in these like funny movies. Let's put him in Project Hail Mary. I'm sure he's probably going to be pretty similar in Star Wars Starfighter. Um, and he's great in this, especially with Rocky. The silliness is like perfect tone there. I think though that Lord and Miller push him a little bit too hard with the humor. I think it's turned on way too much, especially in those flashback scenes where you're looking at what led up to this. I think he relies on it a little bit too much. It gets a little bit obnoxious, a little bit tiresome. But the thing is, I mean, the movie wouldn't be as good as it is if it wasn't there at all. So I just think it's a little misbalanced.
I think one of the when we get the flashback to the um what are they called microphage.
Yeah, macrophage.
So when obviously Grace is first
Oh, astrophage.
experimenting astrophage, that's
Astrophage.
it,
Yeah, that's
astrophage. He's obviously recruited and he's working with Carl, and they sort of have this great scene of um sort of back backyard science, and they're doing all these little projects, and they're given this blank check, and they go to I assume it's like a Home Depot. I hope I'm getting my American references right here.
I think it was. I think.
With their blank check, and they're just absolutely prattling about, and that's the sort of buddy humor and buddy sort of chemistry that really works both with those two, which is very brief with him and Carl. And I think Carl's one of the first names he writes down. He writes like best friend or something. So immediately there, there's something in his memory. But they're just so silly, and they're having fun despite the fact that there's this potential microorganism that's going to destroy the sun.
See,
But
I didn't buy into all of that there. That's the thing. Like
oh,
so like I do like that like oh very quickly Carl opens up and it's like oh they're kind of like having fun together and it's like oh they scan the glasses on his face to buy it and that like that. But then I'm like you set up all that stuff to like bowl the items in the aisle like just little things like that where it's like okay why you push the humor a little bit outside of realistic territory of like this is what would happen here and I was like let's tone it down just a little bit.
but that's the sort of thing that I love. Like you've got the Secret Service, whatever they are, eating sour Skittles at the same time as this national crisis is going on. It's silly, not slapstick, but it's very silly humor, and the bowling thing you mentioned as well. It's uplifting. It's very giddy, and to contrast the stark reality of what's going on. I think that's why it worked for me. Um, Obviously, I think one of the saddest moments is when we get Sandra Hüller's character Eva singing karaoke. I know one of the trailers featured Sign of the Times. It's sort of um a nice moment in the film. Um, I don't know what your thoughts on Karaoke Gate are.
Karaoke gate why are there issues is this a
No,
controversial
just that's what I'm
topic?
calling it. That's just what I'm
Oh
calling it.
okay.
Karaoke.
um Yeah, I mean, I liked that moment in the grand scheme of things. I think ultimately seeing where the movie goes, with certain characters, I think it kind of tainted my perspective on that a little bit. Um,
Okay.
I think in the latter part of the movie, there was a choice made that is, you know, it's a big plot choice, that is really interesting and then the way that it's kind of framed in what it's trying to say about about Ryland Grace and like how he thinks and how he feels. I think it left me a little iffy walking out of the theater. And so that goes back to that karaoke scene a little bit of just like it made me see it in a different light where I don't love what happened in that plot line.
Okay.
And apparently, like the hard thing here is like you haven't read the book. I also haven't read the book.
Yeah.
I am a fairly big reader, and I love reading sci-fi. Um, the premise of this didn't hook me enough to be like, oh yeah, I need to go read the book before watching the movie. I'm apparently an outlier in that though. I know tons of people who haven't read the book. Even my brother just recently read the book, and so I was talking to him about it, and the choices that they made and how they depict some of those things towards the end um apparently is not from the book. It's from Lord and Miller,
Okay.
and it's a little disappointing to see. It kind of just really tainted some of the things that I did love about the movie at first. But obviously not going to go too into detail there. Don't want to spoil things, but
Wonderful. I think that's everything. I've got across how much I loved Rocky. I think Rocky's a hilarious character. I think there's the whole sleeping, watching each other sleep is a beautiful thing. Um, but yeah, it's hard to talk about the film without full on spoiling it. But the film's literally only just come out, so
but
um,
also, so
maybe
I mean, with Rocky, um, they centered a lot of their marketing around Rocky of like, here's the cute little guy in this movie. And I feel like I've had so much fatigue with that lately, right? Because we had it feels like The Mandalorian really was what kicked it off, what, 5 years ago or so, with Grogu. And then
7 years ago now.
oh my God. And then we just get different iterations of like, oh, he's a cute little guy in this movie. Like few a year now. Like last year we had Baby
Baby
Joey and
Joey.
Superman. I hate Baby Joey, but
I think that was such a blatant, obvious
and then what Jurassic
plug
World had
myself.
one
Sorry.
too, right? What did
Yeah,
Um,
Jurassic World have?
the little Triceratops.
Dolores? Was it Dolores or something? Is that the name?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. But yeah, every movie nowadays, they're like going straight to that for marketing. And like I get it, it sells. That didn't hook me on the movie. I mean, what hooked me ultimately was just, I love Ryan Gosling and also I'm interested to see what Greg Fraser pulls off here. Um, but what I will say is that even like once I was at the theater and I'm watching the movie. I finally get into it after a short bit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of dig the tone and the vibe of this movie. And I kind of dug what it was doing with the story and just as a sci-fi movie as a whole, as a sci-fi story. And then it gets to Rocky. And even though I wasn't sold on him in the marketing, I ended up coming away from the movie as like, yeah, he's one of the best parts, and that's probably the reason people should see the movie, even if it wasn't the one for me. I'm in the 1% over here of like, that's not why I saw it, but that's the heart of the movie ultimately. And I've seen a couple people make a comparison of like this feels a lot like a Disney live action movie in certain ways. And it really does. It feels like this like good, like feel good adventure almost. It's Interstellar by way of Disney live action movie that it's not far off from being a PG movie, right? I mean, there's some
Mm,
there's some there's some kind of tense topics that come up here and there, but because the mood is so light, they never really dive deep into that. And like personally, I would love if they dove deep into that, but I get what they were going for here, and I think it has a lot of appeal for a lot of people.
wonderful. Well, that was Project Hail Mary. You can watch it in theaters still. I'm sure it will have a successful. It's done really well first weekend, to be fair. I think it will do well in cinemas for a few more weeks, and then it'll be on Prime Video eventually. So seek it out if you haven't already seen it. And now the final talking point of the episode. 2026 has a number of titles still to release at the box office this year. Some that we've already touched upon, but I thought I'd go around and we'd talk about three of our most anticipated films for the rest of the year. So I'm going to shoot to Brit. Obviously, poor Brit's had to endure me and Riley discussing Project Hail Mary. So we'll shoot the mic over to her and we'll hear a little bit about what she's excited to see for the rest of the year, which is crazy because we're a quarter of the way through the year now. Um, we're
just
we're
about.
just about literally. So, Britt, what is on your radar for the rest of the year?
So I think obviously because as film Twitter would put it, I love slop. Um, Looking forward to Mando and Grogu, my boys. Um, though the first little trailer didn't really do it for me. Second one made me more excited for it. I have faith. I have faith in Jon Favreau. Um, he made Iron Man after all, so like let's just, you know,
And Chef.
and Chef
Too
and
bad
Elf.
JJ's not here. JJ would go off. JJ loves Chef. He would go on and on about it.
Um, Doomsday, obviously, because that's insane. It's going to be insane. Wild card though, I kind of want to watch the Sheep Detectives. I think it looks kind of kind of goofy in the cast, even like just voice cast and like the cast stuff is crazy. So we'll see how that does.
So me and Josh were just talking about Sheep Detectives before we got on here, before we started recording, because at the theater yesterday, I was saying it was a pretty packed theater for Project Hail Mary, and everyone went crazy for Sheep Detectives. Out of everything they showed there, even like Michael, which Michael's gonna make
Really?
$1 billion guaranteed, everyone was cracking up at Sheep Detectives.
Listen,
They're all like, "Yeah, we
listen.
gotta go see that."
Sheep Detective sweep, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. That comes out right around Mando and Grogu too, though, so it'll
Yeah,
probably get
it's not gonna do
squashed
well,
by
but.
that. But I mean, the cast is honestly insane. Like Patrick Stewart, you got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, obviously Hugh Jackman, and I mean, I know they're just doing voices other than Hugh Jackman, but I don't know.
I
The
think
budget on that's got to be crazy for what is a little sheep movie.
yeah, the press tour is going to be crazy as well.
Oh
Some of the
yeah.
names in that film. Okay, Riley, hit me with your three.
So, since we're already talking about Dune Part 3, I'll pick something else because I do have more than three I could talk about, but we talked about Dune Part 3. So, um, The Odyssey, that's a big one. I mean, I love Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is probably like what he's the person who got me into movies with Interstellar, actually. That's like when I really started getting hooked, which it's a great movie. It's incredible, but it's also just like, I think a good gateway film. He makes a lot of good like gateway films into like, okay, now there's a bunch of movies that influence this. Let's dive into that. And so um yeah, he's gotten me and a lot of others into film. But yeah, The Odyssey looks phenomenal. Seeing that like extended sneak peek for it, which was ahead of what was it? Ahead of Avatar. It was
Yeah,
yeah, it was before Avatar Fire and Ash. That was phenomenal. And I'm so sold. I'm considering driving to the IMAX 70 millimeter theater that's 3 hours away from me. If there's tickets, maybe we'll see. Um, Two more. We've got Godzilla Minus Zero. Godzilla Minus One is an incredible movie. I believe it won Best VFX at the Oscars also. And yeah, some of the most insane VFX I've seen. But most importantly, it's like such a deeply emotional film that's just about like humanity. It doesn't deal too much with like it does deal with like the consequences of this giant monster, but it's at its core, it's just about humanity and survivor's guilt. And it's just phenomenal. Brought me to tears. I'm sure they'll do it again with this one, unless maybe who knows, they'll go a silly route, but I doubt it. Um, I do love silly Godzilla too. Um, and then for a third movie, what do we have? We've got, I'm gonna say Narnia. Um, you know,
okay.
I love Greta Gerwig. Um, I loved Barbie, even though I feel like it was her weakest movie, but it was still really great. Um, but Little Women is my favorite of hers so far. And so I'm excited to see her do another literary adaptation of especially something that I grew up reading. Um, and, you know, the reports say that she's doing The Magician's Nephew. She's got Daniel Craig in there, seemingly as the uncle. She's got Meryl Streep, who might be Aslan, which would be kind of exciting. Um, but yeah, I love The Magician's Nephew, especially. And, you know, to anyone who's like unaware, that's kind of a prequel that was written later on, prequel to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And so you're kind of seeing how everything came to be. And it has a lot of these like interesting like biblical Genesis parallels to it, which she's kind of played around with even in the Barbie movie. So yeah, that one super excited. That's probably my top three.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think as well, obviously, Nani's got that IMAX window in
Hmm.
over Thanksgiving. Um, it's nice to see a revival of a franchise that has been adapted before, but getting a completely different story from that franchise. Um, I'm, I think it will be good, I want to say. Obviously, we've not seen any footage or I don't know when we'll see footage for that, probably sometime over the summer. This is a Netflix property we're talking about, so if they're smart, they start marketing it with the Odyssey in IMAX, going from your tentpole IMAX release of the year to start marketing the next one. But I think a summertime trailer makes sense. I was gonna go for Avengers Doomsday, but obviously, I will add a new one in. My first one on my list is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Obviously, we've just had the trailer for that. I'm a huge fan of Tom Holland's Peter Parker Spider-Man. I think from what we've seen from the trailer so far, I'm really excited just to get another Spider-Man film. It feels like forever since we had No Way Home, and what a huge event that was. So it'd be great to just have another Spider-Man film, and obviously set within the wider continuity of the MCU again. That one should be great. Another one, Toy Story 5. Um, say what you want. There's not a bad Toy Story film.
I'll say what I
Um,
want.
mm, I each the last two films both served as fantastic sort of bookend endings for several characters. And there probably will be a sixth Toy Story film. I think
Gosh, don't speak that
it's
into existence. Don't do it.
I mean, I doubt it. There's always the possibility. I think we could get a really good, sensible ending in Toy Story 5. Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, they're getting that age now where we can't have it falling like The Simpsons, where these characters aren't doing character voices anymore. They're just doing their own voices.
You know,
But
funny you bring that up.
go on.
I really, really noticed it in Jesse in the trailer. It does not sound like Jesse anymore. Like, and I
Mm.
understand, you age, your voice, especially like women, that your voices get deeper. So I can't like fault it for that, but it was so incredibly noticeable to me that it really took me out of it.
It's a shame. Like these are voices that we've grown up with, and um, I think they should end it at five. I understand why they've made a five. They want a huge commercial success, and this is sort of Bob Iger's farewell to the Walt Disney Company. Um, I mean, if I had a nickel for every time that a Toy Story film was released in the last calendar year of Bob Iger reign, we'd have two nickels. But I don't see him coming back for a third time. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
The first trailer looks fantastic. The animation alone, I think that the story will be strong. There's a lot of interesting things that you can discuss with talking about tablets. I'm the biggest supporter of not giving children tablets at an early age, and but that's discussion for when Toy Story 5 comes out. My last pick, I'm surprised no one's mentioned it, is Disclosure Day. Spielberg, Aliens, Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo, Colin Firth. I'm just very excited for this film. I've not seen the new trailer yet. I think I'm gonna try and not actively seek this film's marketing just to preserve that experience, because I think when you deal with a film with a mysterious plot and whatever that film's going to deal with, I think this might be one to try and avoid trailers for. But I'll be there day one, so And when's that out? The 12th of June, the 19th of June?
Yeah, it's mid-June. I don't remember the exact date.
It is, I think it's the 12th, maybe. Yes, the 12th of June, so it's the week before Toy Story. So that the run of June where we have Scary Movie, Masters of the Universe that first week, then we have Disclosure Day, and then we have Toy Story is just going to be
Big month.
crazy. Money, 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 money. To quote Toy Story, I think it's one.
What?
Money, money, money. Yeah, with
Ooh. Oh, yes, yes. You're right.
yeah, it's Andy playing with Mr. Potato Head and Ham. Money, money, money. Anyhow, I think that is everything. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've made it this far, please make sure you support us. You know, come and find us. We're on the YouTube. We're on the Pop News website, popnews.com. We are active on X, where we post regular news and updates, as well as Instagram, where you can find our latest reviews. We spotlight on there. Obviously the podcast as well, available wherever you get your podcasts. Our next episode, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking all things the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which releases on the 1st of April. So myself and Riley will be joined by our two very good friends, Chris and Ryan, talking all things Mario, Nintendo, and more. So please make sure you are following, subscribed, so you do not miss that one. Um, Britt and Riley, where can we find you guys? Riley, we'll start with you.
You can find me over mostly on Twitter, at Geekstash. That's about it.
And Britt, where can people find your heated rivalry tweets and coverage?
Don't seek them out. Um, on Twitter also Bucky Bolts with a Z.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Again, all our links will be down below. Thank you for supporting the podcast, and we will see you very soon.